Hello there! I am Scorched Scales, and on August the 3rd, I did a live stream. I know, how surprising. Because on August the 3rd, 2023, I uploaded my first ever video. And to celebrate, I hosted a live Q&A where anybody could enter and ask whatever they please. So, this is the highlights of that. So there were a lot, and I mean a lot, of questions cut because I didn't want this video to be 2 hours long. So these are just the highlights, and I'll cut straight to the chase and just end this here. And I hope you enjoy this Q&A for the 1-year anniversary of this wonderful little channel. Damn, I've been doing this shit for over a year. You could do analysis videos. I seriously could. Well, I'm considering doing it. Well, I am thinking of doing it. In fact, if anything, I'm starting to do it already, because of the grass video. But like, it will be hard to do them, because there's so many people doing them. Like, there's JMA, who did a lot, because he uploaded weekly and he covered a lot of topics in a very short amount of time. There's also, of course, Charcoal. Like, he just uploaded a video about the love triangles. I'll fully admit, when I saw that video being uploaded, I was like, I could have done that. I'm about to ask this man the best life questions. Number 1, what kind of cheese do you like? Already a year? I feel so old. How do you think I feel? I'm the person who makes these. So like, why are your scales scorching? Isn't it obvious? I'm just that hot. No, but seriously, I just needed a username. And I really like alliteration. Before creating the channel, Peril was my favorite character. So I was like, alliteration. Dragon that's constantly on fire. So, Scorched Scales. It's as stupid as that. I also heard your chair squeak. I'm approaching your location rapidly with that information. But I'm not sitting on a chair. So I don't know who you're tracking down. Which character do you hate the most in Wings of Fire? It hasn't changed that much from when I first read the series, but of course, morally, everybody should hate Whirlpool due to him, you know, being a nonce. But it has to be Chameleon for me. Like, he treats Peril terribly. He destroyed Kinkajou. In my opinion, he didn't get what he deserved. Wow, yes, he did have his scrolls be stripped from him, which did mean a lot to him. So like, from his point of view, he has had the punishment he requires. But I don't know, I just think he deserves a good fist to the face. Is this live just gonna be you making fun of yourself? Well, yeah. That's like 90% of my humor. Running Ruins just called me out here. I'm pretty sure he's on his bed. Why you gotta call me out like that, man? Why do you love Peril so much? Okay. I've got a backstory to this. Peril was already my favorite character before reading Arc 2, because I just found her funny. Like, I saw a big fiery dragon demon, and I was like, she's funny. She's gonna be my profile picture. She's my favorite. And so, that's what I did. But then I actually read Escape in Peril, and I was like, I weirdly relate to this character. I'll fully admit, in fiction in general, I don't relate that much to characters. Like, I enjoy them, but there's been very, very few times in fiction where I've gone, oh, I relate to this character. But there are reasons behind that, which I'm not going to go into here, probably. But when I read Escape in Peril, no joke, that was one of the first times where I've experienced a form of media where I was like, oh, that's me! I mean, like, to my memory, I even related to the way she talked about herself, which is so odd. Because, like, someday, I have to return to Escape in Peril, reread it, and find out if I actually related to her, or if I just really liked it because I liked her character. So yeah, it was just a happy coincidence. Do you speak any other languages other than English? No. My school forced me to learn French for, I want to say, 9 years straight, and the only thing I know is Je m'appelle Adam, and that 9 in French is Nerf. And I only remembered that because I remember as a child going, oh, like Nerf? The toy guns? That's the only reason why I remembered. That's all I know. I swear you giggle every 2 sentences. Well, yeah. 'Cause I'm funny! Favorite and least favorite tribe. Okay. I think my favorite tribe just has to be the Sandwings. It has been since I read The Brightest Night. I just think they're really cool. But the least favorite, I'll be honest, I like all of them. I haven't hated a single one of them. Like, thinking about it, if I had to remove one, which one would it be? I do have to say, I do like them, but sadly, it would probably be the Mudwings, because they've done the least. One of my weird headcanons is that some Mudwings have mushrooms growing off their backs. I think that'd be a cool look. Yeah. Mudwings just don't shower. They just have mushrooms growing on them. They just don't take showers. Oh my god. The Nightwings are British, and the Mudwings are Redditors. They go around going like, oh, Wholesome 100.
Whoa, look over there. It's someone criticizing Elon Musk. And he's making typos.
Controversial question. What is your favourite ship? Now, I'll fully admit, I'm not that big of a shipper. Just, I enjoy some of them, and even then, it is more casual. Like, yeah, I like them. Yeah, I find them entertaining. But my favourite one? It's very unfortunate what my favourite one is. Because I would say my favourite one is probably Glorybringer. Because I just find them funny. I find their back and forth, like, really funny. So I find myself going, ooh, I want to see more of them because I find them entertaining. Which, of course, does end up being very unfortunate due to the existence of the winglets. What's your opinion on Moonwatcher and Kibli? Okay, out of the 2 options that Moonwatcher had, to go with Winter or Kibli, I'm glad she went with Kibli, because that relationship was probably the best for her. But I will fully admit, I didn't really care for either of them. I didn't really care for her being with Winter or her being with Kibli, because from what I remember from Moonwatcher's point of view, it didn't really go into that much detail about her romantic thoughts about either of them. But meanwhile, in both Winter and Kibli's books, a lot of their thoughts were completely centered around her, which, not gonna lie, I find kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I would have preferred if Moonwatcher had gotten with Kinkajou, but that's probably because I find the dynamic entertaining. That's just what it is for me. The number one way to get me invested in a relationship isn't by having them be a good couple. It's by having them just be funny. I think Moon and Kinkajou are just good friends. Yeah. Yes, they are. Out of the 3 arcs, which one is the most messy and most problematic? I'm sorry, but like, it's easily Arc 3. Like, Arc 2 did have its issues, but at least it had a decent final that wrapped up most things. But like, the final for Arc 3, The Flames of Hope, I'm sorry, but it butchered the whole thing. Like, I was really, and I mean really enjoying Arc 3. Up until Book 15, I was like, huh, if Book 15 sticks the landing, this might be the best arc in my opinion. But then I read Book 15. Yeah, I'm sorry, like, yeah, I still love Arc 3. I adore some of the books in there. But it's like, oh, that ending though. But thankfully, it doesn't ruin the rest of the arc for me. I still love every other book in that arc. It really is just the last one. Winter didn't deserve Moon. Yeah, probably. Winter probably did need somebody who wasn't Moon. I mean, like, ironically, before reading A Dangerous Gift, I believe it is mentioned somewhere that Lynx is like the only other dragon who is kind to Winter. So I was like, oh, he could be with Lynx. But then I read A Dangerous Gift. And I don't think Lynx swings that way to go towards Winter. What do you think of the graphic novel art style? For me, it's good, but it has some problems. Well, you see, in order to experience and judge the art style of graphic novels, I would actually have to read them. Which, yes, it may be shocking to learn that I haven't actually read them, considering my channel and how much I've used the panels of books. But it's like, I've never sat down to read them yet. Well, I will fully admit that does partly link because I plan to make a whole video about it in the future. But I don't think the art style is bad. It's a lot better than what I could do. Just in some places, I just think it does really feel like Mike Holmes is kinda being overworked by having to release one of these every year. Like, really? Only a year to make one of these? Really? Because, like, I'll fully admit, I know very little to nothing about Warrior Cats, but I am aware that for their graphic novel series, they did bring in multiple artists, which might have been the better option, because you aren't overworking the same person over and over again. Who's your favourite villain? Ooh, my favourite villain. Of course, Queen Scarlet is up there. Queen Scarlet is just deliciously evil. She's great. And like, going back to Arc 3 yet again, I think Queen Wasp, she could have had the chance to become my favourite villain, but after book 3, she just becomes irrelevant. Like, she was such a good villain, like, even though most of the time she didn't appear in the book, you still felt her overarching presence. It still felt like her eyes were gazing right at the characters. So it's like, I really like that, but it doesn't stick the landing. Who is the most sane character in the series? Mandrake. Cause the guy just really likes bugs. Bugs is just his special interest. He's just a regular dude. Are you still pro-humans in WoF or anti-humans in WoF? Okay. I have pretty much always been pro-humans in Wings of Fire. It can lead to very unique perspectives to the world. Because from a human's point of view, it's like Planet of the Apes, where it's this world that humans used to dominate, but then they were overthrown by, from their point of view, their usurpers. But however, from the dragons' point of view, they were the revolutionaries who stood up against the humans. If we dug into that more, I think a lot more people would like it. But as it is, I think it's fine as it is. Like, I do see people being paranoid, like, ooh, she's included humans once. Eventually this whole series is going to become about humans. Like, if the entirety of Arc 2 is about humans, like, if the main villain is a human who wants to kill all dragons, I would be up for that. I think that'd be an interesting concept for a story. But I very much understand why people would be hesitant to that, because from their point of view, this is a series about dragons, so it should be about dragons. But the truth is, I don't think it ever will truly become all humans. I think at the very most, humans will always be a side part. They will always be an accessory to the dragons in this series, because this book series is known as the Dragon Book series. That's its appeal. But I will say, having humans could give us new dynamics and new perspectives. Like, a part of a reason why humans are essential in franchises like Godzilla and Transformers is to give us perspectives. It's to give us a grounded view of the world, interacting with these fantastical concepts. Like, Transformers can work without humans. Hell, we're getting Transformers 1 this year, which is just all Transformers. But when you remove the humans, the robots aren't giant anymore. They're just people who are robots. I think if we had more human and dragon interaction that could go on to greater demonstrate the differences between the two. Because without humans, giant monsters aren't giant. Without humans, robots in disguise are just robots. So, what are dragons without humans? What's your favourite arc? As for overall arc, how it functions in between as a story, it has to be Arc 1, because in my opinion it functions the best as a story. But as for the arc with the best individual books, has to be Arc 2 for me. But if I had to pick one, it would be Arc 1. How do you think the Wings of Fire TV show is gonna turn out? We know so little to make any judgments at the moment. We only know it's being made at Amazon, it's being produced by MGM, and we know the producer, who I don't know the name of because he's the producing head at MGM. But I'm optimistic towards it, but I am kind of worried. Because, like, Amazon has like a 80-20 on their adaptations. Like 80% of them, like Invincible, are really good, but I am aware there are some more shows on there that are adaptations that essentially butcher the source material. There's a chance it might be good, there's a chance it might be bad. It depends on who they get to make it. But adaptations do change depending on who's making it. Like, if a person is really passionate about it, you can feel that passion burn through. They could just hire somebody who just doesn't care and does a poor job. But even then, just because you don't care, and you don't adore the source material, that doesn't mean you're going to do a bad job. But I will say, I do have one thing to actually say. I was able to see some of the leaked footage from the Netflix show before it was cancelled. I liked how it was turning out, but I didn't like some of the designs. Like, I hated Glory's design. Like, it just looked like one of the dragons from, like, bloody Rescue Riders or something. Like, I just want the dragons to look like dragons. because that's the book's appeal. I'm optimistic towards it, but changes will be made, and I just hope it's good. What accent do you have? I'm British, but I'm not London British. What's a character you think should have gotten more page time? All of the love interests in Arc 1, besides Peril because she gets her own book. Riptide, he's there. If he got more page time, we could have had more time to develop him. Deathbringer, I think we could have had a really good character arc with Deathbringer, like with him coming to terms with what he's done, and how his purpose was to kill, to keep a prophecy running, and to find out that, the prophecy is a lie. That would affect him too. But that's never really discussed because he isn't a POV character. And Fate Speaker, I wish she had an arc of her own. But those are things that could be improved in the TV show. I know who I never really liked as a character. Queen Coral. I know, same. Because I'll be fully honest, Queen Coral is the only character in this series who I fear. Like, she is unpredictable. She killed a god just because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. How many more arcs do you think the series should continue? Okay, I think Arc 3 could have been a alright ending if Book 15 had made the landing. But due to that not happening, I'm happy it's getting more. Because with Arc 3, it could have had a good beginning, middle, and end. But due to Arc 3 being Arc 3, we didn't get that. My limit would be like 5 arcs. I think Arc 5 should be the last one. That should be the limit. Should Arc 4 have another prophecy? Or have none at all? I personally don't want another prophecy. Because the prophecy fit in Arc 1 and Arc 2. I just think the prophecy was just forced in Arc 3. I think Arc 3 would have been better if it didn't have a prophecy. And I hope Arc 4 doesn't have one, so we can have a solely character-driven story, and not have any overlooming prophecies. We have one more question. Do you think you will ever create a WoW OC? I don't think I will, because OCs, they aren't really my thing. I like enjoying characters that have already been created. The only situations where I like creating characters is in the worlds that I have created. But I will admit I have been partly close to creating one, because a while ago on Twitter, somebody made a post that was like, create a Nightwing based on the night that you were born. And so that's what I did. This character doesn't have any backstory, no nothing. They don't even have a name. And I don't think they ever will. This is the character. Well, it's not the character, it's the Nightwing. That was based on the night sky on the night that I was born. This is the closest that I've come to creating one. Like, if I ever have a icon, like how everybody else does, they all have their own characters to present them. If I ever get one like that, they won't have a name, it'll be nothing. It'll just be a character to just pose. And that'll be it. Okay, this will be the last question. Do you think Darkstalker should come back? Physically and as a main antagonist, no. He was done well, he was done fine, he should end there. The only situations where I think he could return, or should return, is in connection to Peacemaker. Think of like Peacemaker thinking and like hearing Darkstalker in the back of his head. Like, I can't help but think of a piece of fan art that I saw. That was like a cute little innocent Peacemaker at the front with like a big Darkstalker in chains at the back. And if there's any situation where Darkstalker returns, I think it should be mentally talking to Peacemaker, and maybe Moon, since she can read minds. But I don't think he should ever return as a actual antagonist. He's had his time, he's done, make somebody new. Okay, this will be the last question, I swear I can stop. It's not an addiction, I swear. What Wings of Fire characters of main POVs should be killed off or passed away in future books? I don't know. I like all of them. It just really depends on what the story has in mind. If it suits the story, if it pushes the character of that book forward, do it. But I don't think we should start killing off characters just for the sake of killing off characters. If you kill a character off, it has to have meaning. It has to have a function. How does it affect people? How will it affect the audience? Because that's something you have to keep in mind. Like, we will probably never see the death of Glory or Sundew, because like they're too popular. But as for what characters, I would say any characters. Anyone's up for the chopping block. I just think it really depends on who the story is following and if it's required. And that is it. So, it's been over a year now. And I cannot be thankful enough for this channel. I love you lot. You lot are hilarious, and you're a lot more funny than me. And it's always a pleasure to upload a video because A, it's fun to make, I like making them, and I love seeing your reactions. Because this channel was originally only supposed to run for like 6 months tops. I was originally just gonna come in, read through books, give my thoughts on them, and then leave. But no! Of course things couldn't be simple when it comes to me. Of course that video just had to blow up, and I tell ya, I don't regret this one bit. I love this. Like, I will probably never top the British Nightwing video. And you know what? I don't mind it. And without it, I wouldn't be here with you lot. In which I just want to say, thank you all so much for watching and supporting me across this year. And here's to many more. And I hope I'll see you there. So thank you so much for watching. I have been Scorched Scales. Thank you so much for this last year. And I'll see you another day.